For many years, a server network has existed called the Performium Network, ran by Donnie Bobes and RGA Gaming. But this video won't focus on them. We're going to focus on how my friend group and I made all of the players on their Armies server quit in one night. For context, Armies is a server type similar to factions, but unlike factions, there are no claims, so you have to hide your base as best as possible in order to prevent yourself from being raided. It was similar to an Anarchy experience, but not exactly. There was an auction house and a diamond generator at spawn because, well, the entire map was a super flat dirt world. Yeah, it was interesting. My friend group and I have known each other for 2.5 years now, but at this point in time, we knew each other for around 1.5 years. The Armies server went through many iterations, such as the original Armies server, nicknamed Armies V1. This server was a super flat dirt world, with each army mastering one resource, which led to interesting battles. The second iteration was Armies V2, which is the version my friends and I met on. The main differences from Armies V1 and Armies V2 was that V2 had MCMMO and crates, but no one really liked the crates. Finally, we go to Armies V3, more of an iteration of Armies V1, with the only differences being an auction house and that armies weren't specifically given resources. The story I will be telling you today takes place on Armies V3, so let's get right into telling how I caused the entire player base to quit. But first, please like and subscribe, as this is my first video in about 1.5 months. So yeah, like this video if you want me to tell more stories from this Army server. I did not originally play on Armies V3 when it first came out, but since I played lots of the Armies V2 server, I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. One day, my friend Alora got me interested in Armies again, so I joined up with her and we messed around at the spawn talking to old friends. I noticed that one player named JR Man was sitting AFK on a lily pad in a pond, with a set of enchanted diamond armor, so I did what any other player would do. I pushed JR Man into the pond and covered up the top. Right as they were about to die from drowning, they started trying to escape, but the barrier I made on top of the pond was just enough, and they drowned. They died, and I picked up their gear. It was a full set of god armor and god tools. I ran away and teleported to spawn. This was the single instance that got me into Armies again. After playing for a while, my friends joined up with me, and we created an army called Atlas, which defeated every other faction it came into contact with, through fighting and insiding. We eventually come up to a point where we were getting bored of the server. We defeated everyone with minimal losses, and we each had 10+ god sets of diamond armor to our names. We decided we wanted to leave the server with a bang, hence, the creation of a new army empire was to be a front for a secret group called Anarchy. And the goal of Anarchy was to make as many players quit as possible, and the easiest way to make a player quit is to raid them. So that's exactly what we did. For 2 months, I flew around the map using /fly and found more than 30 active player bases. Unlike what my group usually did, instead of raiding the base when we found it, we stocked up on coordinates in a Discord server, and we decided we would raid every single base that I found in one night. We created a name for this event. It would be called Tartarus, aka the Gates to Hell. Yes, we misspelled it, but it was on purpose, I swear. After creating the name, we decided on a day we would do this event. It would be on a Saturday night, very late when no one was online. We then waited until 5 days into advance when we had an idea to instill fear into the players. We created a sign at spawn out of obsidian that said Tartarus, with the numbers next to it indicating the countdown of how many days until every base got raided. I would log on every morning at 6 AM in order to change the number next to the sign when no one would see me. Because we had our front as the Obsidian Empire, not many suspected us. Some people did, but they never came forward and claimed it, due to the potential backlash and wars that they would receive. Then, on January 26th at 11 PM, it began. We made a huge chest room the day before, so our goal was to loot and destroy the remains of every single base. I'm obviously not going to go into every base we raided since there was 30 of them, but we raided around 10 plus bases when we got to a base of a peaceful player named Mr. Merlin. Many people use this base as a farm, and it also had a villager breeder, a sign that established players used it. We started destroying much of the base. We set the huge forest on fire, killed all of the villagers, and took everything that was of use to us. After raiding much of the base, we noticed that there was a stack of 10,000 chickens. See, the server had a mob stacking plugin to cut down on lag, hence why we were able to have so many chickens. Being the evil people we are, we decided to place a lava bucket on the stacked chickens, and then the server crashed? What? We waited an hour, and the server would still not restart, so we got out for the night and decided we would continue raiding the next day. The next day, we logged on and found out the lava we placed on the chickens caused the server to crash, an unexpected result that ruined our plans of raiding all of the bases in one night. The server admins actually had to make it so if you place lava on a stack of mobs, it kills them all instantly, so basically we found a glitch by accident. That night, we continued the raiding and finished raiding every base that was on the list. We surprisingly did not have any encounters with players while doing this, so after we were done, no one knew what the hell happened. We left signs at many of the bases, which claimed the raid to our secret group Anarchy. We also left this symbol on the ground to also symbolize that. And in amazing fashion, around 5 people found out that their bases had also been raided in a single hour. My group also claimed that we had some of our bases raided as well, in order to draw attention away from us. This worked, as after this happened, no one blamed the Obsidian Empire. All eyes were on Anarchy. Who it was, how many of them there were, no one knew. Surprisingly, not many people quit when this happened, but we had severely crippled everyone's supplies, so I guess it was sort of a success. The final blow of the server though, was an alt account I owned, which I will not say the name of, but with this alt account, I appeared at one of the biggest community bases on the server, Taznet. My alt account roamed around the base for a bit, but after it was noticed by people, I died many times to people with god sets as they were trying to defend their base, until eventually, my account got spawn trapped. One of my friends, Will, was in a voice call with me during this, so he accidentally broke my spawn trap and I was able to set my home somewhere else. At one point, my friend Charizard gave me a set of iron armor to mess around with, but after dying with it, a few of the people defending the base recognized it as armor that had been stolen during Tartarus. Uh-oh, a slip up. All eyes were now on my alt, as it was now directly linked to Anarchy. I then went on my main account and gave myself a god set. After giving myself a god set, I ran into Taznet and caused havoc. I killed a few people, won a 2v1, and then I disappeared, never to be seen again. After this, everyone investigated into Anarchy, but no one ever found out it was actually the Obsidian Empire that was Anarchy. Interest soon started wearing off, as a huge mystery was left unsolved, with little to no evidence pointing out who Anarchy actually was. And after about 2 weeks, many players left, which caused the server to be shut down due to having around 1 to 5 players at peak times, compared to around the 50 members playing during December. After about a year though, we finally revealed to some people that my group was behind Anarchy and Tartarus, and surprisingly, people weren't that mad. This marks the end of the story of Anarchy, so come join the Discord if you really want to learn more about it. The server invite link will be on the screen now, and it will also be in the description below, but I'm going to take my leave now. See ya!
I'm on the move, can't stop me if you try. Coasting on now, baby, it's just me, myself, and I. Cause I'm on the move, every step is by design. It's only up from here.